Hello guys, my name is Khan, and in today's video we will talk about how you can transpose data in Power BI, and after that I will also be talking about how you can enter data, because in our previous videos I have shown you guys that how you can import data into Power BI, but now in today's video I will also show you guys that how you can enter data, or how you can simply copy paste data from suppose in from Excel or from a CSV file to into Power BI directly. So mainly in this video I will be talking about transpose, and I will be also talking about other functions like fill, and then I will be trying to tell you that how you can unpivot columns or pivot column. So I will be using this hypothetical data for our today's video. As you can see that this data is about car. Again, it's a hypothetical data, and we have collected data across the years and for different countries, for UK, USA and France. So I will be playing around with this data, and then I will transpose this data from in a long form. Currently it's in a wide form. So don't be worried, I will show you guys that how you can transpose the data, and it will give you an idea that how you can use the transpose options for your own needs. So let's I will take you guys to Power BI. So I will be searching it Power BI here. I will click it here. So it's loading Power BI for me now. So in today's video, I will give you an idea, because sometimes you need to transpose your data for your analysis. So I will get data, and my data is in Excel file. So I will set Excel connect, and this is the data that I have shown you guys. I will be using the same data. So I will say open up. So again, once the data loading will be complete, you will be able to see the variable names on your right hand side window. I will be using sheet 1. So this is the data that I have shown you guys. I will load it. So once the data import will complete, we will be able to see our variable names on the right hand side. And as I have said in my previous video, that whenever you have to manipulate your data or to change the look of your data, you must have to go into an option which is named as edit query. So I will click it, edit query. So now I will be able to transform this data or change this data. So the first thing you will be noticing here is that here the UK USA is appearing by default in the first as a variable names. But I don't want that UK USA comes in as a variable name. So in order to do that, there are some changes applied by Power BI here. So I will say cancel this tab, and also here it is written then promoted headers. So I will say don't promote it as headers. So once I did it, it becomes a row of those variable names becomes the raw data. So you can see UK here, USA here, as it was written down in Excel. So the first thing is to transpose the data up. So in order to transpose, what I will do, I will select all the columns, and in the transform tab, if I go, there is an option transpose. It's worked like very much like the transpose function of Excel. So if I click that, you can see, if I take you guys back, that my rows becomes columns and columns becomes rows after transposing. And you can also see that all the steps which I am doing are getting listed here. So if you have to undo, you can't do Control Z. You have to click this cross button if you want to undo. Then the next thing is that there is another very useful function, the fill function under the transform tab. So suppose you know that these three rows, the price, MPG and Rep 78, are corresponding to UK. As in Excel, I have merged these rows to make it more presentable, that this data in these three columns is representing under UK, and this is for USA and this is for France. So in order to do a similar kind of thing here, what you can do is, if I select this column and I want that UK get written down here and here, the USA get written down here and here, and the France got written down here and here. So in order to do that, there is a very important, a useful function, fill function. Again, it is under the transform tab. So if you click on this down arrow button, will be using down. So because the down rows are representing the thing which is written down here. So if I press it down, you can see that UK get written down here, here, and here. And now what I can do, so suppose now if I want to make my first row as a variable names, or you can say column headers. How I can do that? In order to do that, if you see on this corner there is a table with a down arrow. If I click that button, you can see there is an option use first row as headers. So if I click this, you can see that my first row becomes the row column headers, and I can rename this column 1 as country. So just double click and I can rename the variable name. So now everything looks fine. So a very important feature, because you can see that year is written down repeatedly, 1990, 1991, 92, and so on. If I select all those years, again under the transform, there is an option which is saying unpivot column. So once I click it, it will kind of convert your data from wide to long form. And sometimes while working in Power BI, you may need to pivot your columns or unpivot your columns according to your need or according to the kind of graph you need. So, and you have to play around with this transformation functions a bit. So let's say transform. So you can now see that here the years are coming. Here by default it's saying it's year, but I will rename it to category. And here the attribute is year. I will change it to year. So this price under this year is this value, and this price under this year is this. And again, if you scroll down under the category, after the prices we have MPG and Rep 78 for UK. So, and you can see now for USA same thing, and for France in that. And you can get an idea that how you can transform all these things, transform your data by using the transform tab, and by using some functions by converting first row as a header of the column. So if I go to home tab and if I say close and apply, so once I set close and apply, you can see my variable names got updated according to the transformations I have done. And now I can also apply those changes so now I can build my graphs based on the transformed data. Suppose if I want a bar graph and I want to say country variable, and if I select year variable, so value, so you can see you can use the data which you have transformed in your visualization. And now the next thing in this video that I will capture is that how you can add data instead of importing data, how you can enter data. So if you, under the home tab, we usually used in my previous video the option get data. This option is useful when we have to import data from other sources like Excel, CSV, text file, or even from databases. You can use this option. But suppose if you want to enter the data manually, then there is an option enter data. If you click it, if you will click it, double click it, a new window will pop up, and you can see that the first column and the first row got selected. So suppose if I double click this cell and if I suppose write down 1, 2, so suppose this is an ID variable and I can rename it just double clicking by saying ID. And suppose now I will want to add a new column. So there is a static sign here. You just click that. And now suppose I am entering a survey data. So I will be saying question 1 responses 10, 9, 5, 6. For in the same way, I can add another column in by clicking the static sign again. And I will be saying question number 3. And I will enter 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here you can transform the table name or the query name. Suppose if I want to call it survey data, let's say load. So once I will do that, you can say that this sheet 1 we have imported from the Excel file, and this survey data is from that I have manually entered it. And suppose if I go to edit queries, even here you can see that I have 2 databases here. So I will come out of this edit query window, and in the same way you can also copy paste data from Excel or CSV or text file directly into Power BI. In order to do that, again what you will do, you will go to enter data option here, double click it, and once I double click it, suppose if I go to my Excel file, when I imported the data, I imported the whole sheet. But suppose if I only want to get the data from the USA only, so what I will do, I will select the data that I want to copy into Power BI. I simply Control C the area that I have selected, and I went to Power BI. I select the first cell and I set Control V. Control V, and once I pasted the data from Excel to Power BI, there is a message appears that the first row of the data that you pasted has been promoted to column header. You can undo that too, but I'm happy that the first row of my pasted data is considered as the variable name. So this is the price, MPG and Rep 78. Again, I can rename. So if I want to call it table 2, I can rename the query name or the dataset name. I will say load. So once I loaded, you can see that now in my field I have 3 data tables or query table, and with respective variable names under those tables. So in the end, I will summarize the things that we have covered. In this video, we have covered how you can transpose your data, how you can use the fill option, and how you can use the transpose data into your data visualization. And in the end, I also have shown you guys that how you can enter data into Power BI and how you can simply copy paste the data from other sources to Power BI. Thank you for watching the video.